This will be a short video. All right, I have to share something I ran into the other day, and it's been simmering that I should make a video about that. So I it I just thought, okay, I'm going to do it because more stuff came up, so I'm going to make this video. Um, I talked about this a little bit earlier, where there were people that were expecting the rapture to happen on September between 23rd and 24th, depending on, I guess, where you are on the planet, and then it didn't happen. I warned about it, that it wouldn't happen, and then they pushed the date over to October, like around the 6th, somewhere in there. And that day came and went, and again it didn't happen. And they had all their reasons why it was wrong. It was another calendar, this and that, but they were so sure, it was going to be then. And again, it wasn't then. All right. How did I know it wouldn't be? I'm going to get to that. But, we have seen this going on. It's been, well, even before I was around, it's been going on. So they would date set for the last couple of 100 years, and they would be, well, guess what? Wrong every single time. Okay. Now, there is a rapture. It's in the Bible, and it's coming. Okay. It will come. And one thing is, it's going to happen after other things happen. All right. 2 Thessalonians 2 gives an order chronologically. Then it's at the last and seventh trumpet, which is at the end, okay, and before another thing happens, but it's at the end. So that's the Bible. But if you know the Bible well, you know this, but they don't. And then to top it off, the Bible also says that right here, Matthew 24:36, he's talking about that. But of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Not even Jesus knew. Okay? That's how this is. So, how is anybody else going to know? Right? How is he going to tell anybody if he wouldn't even know? Even if he knew, he's not going to tell anybody. Nobody's going to know it. It's just going to happen, and that's it. It's almost like it's supposed to be a secret. I think there would be more chaos if people knew than if they didn't know. And this recent event is an example of that, and I'll talk about why. But that's what it says. Nobody knows. If they would just read their Bible, they would see this, and they wouldn't hang on anybody who says it's going to be a certain date. All these date setters that come out of the closet. And this latest one was dead wrong, of course. And they're wrong. And even if, you wouldn't know, it would be a coincidence if somebody would be right. Okay, nobody knows. So don't hang on any of those dates that people say that they set. Don't listen to what they say, that they say it's going to be this day or that day. They set a certain date. Don't listen to that. Just ignore it, okay? It could be sooner than that. And if it were that way in anybody's mind, it could still be, they don't know, okay? It's at the end, but I'm just saying, like, even if it wasn't, we wouldn't know when it was. And this has been going on for centuries, okay? And I'm going to talk about this, some of these examples of people, some famous, prophet with quotes on, okay, or whoever fancy self-proclaimed teacher said it was going to be such and such a day. And it wasn't, of course, but you know what people would do? They would get ready like crazy. And they did it again now. And I'm going to talk about some of the crazy things they do. And it is so bad. You don't know. At the same time, you want to laugh, but you want to cry. It's so bad. It's bad. Okay, so back then, And they did it lately again. They would get rid of everything. They would, quit their jobs, get rid of their business, whatever it was, they would get rid of it. I heard of a case that one family, they got rid of everything, but they stood on the roof of their house waiting to be raptured. Now, first of all, this is silly because even if it was then, Jesus doesn't need you to stand on the roof. Like he can't get you otherwise. I mean, you gotta wonder what were they thinking, but there were so many things like this. I know one. So anyway, one person once actually said to me that since he's going to come from the east, it says something about that her house didn't have any windows or doors facing east, so she thought she wouldn't go. That's how bad this gets. That's how bad it gets. I don't think she would have gone anyway, but that's not the reason, okay? But yeah, definitely no, not her. Anyway, but throughout history you have stories of crazy things people would do. Lately, just recently, this kind of thing happened again, and you can see videos about this on YouTube. People they quit their jobs, maybe they sold their business, they sold their cars, they sold their house, they got rid of their life, basically. They sold all their stuff. Some of them even gave it away, including their savings, like houses, savings, cars, they gave it away. And the rapture didn't come. And they are devastated. And I'm like, wow. I mean, what are people thinking? Okay, because first of all, like, suppose whatever it is, a house, a car, their items in the house, what good does it do to sell something? You're not going to take the stuff, but you're not going to take the money either when you go. You can't take anything with you. What difference does it make? What good does it do to sell anything? I mean, really, it's just swapping one thing for another that you can't take. And whenever it happens and you go, whatever it is, you leave it all behind. And I think this is their problem. They can't wrap their heads around the fact that they're going to leave it behind. The stuff doesn't come with us. You come in naked, you go out naked, like your soul, that's it. You're born into the world with nothing, you leave with nothing. You can't take anything with you. And they can't get that in their head. I don't know. And then it's just so wild. And then the job thing, well, you're going to leave either way. And you don't even know if they think they want to be really like polite and give notice. Okay, well, if you know for sure, but they don't know and they were wrong and now they lost everything. I mean, it's devastating. And I mean, you can die and not give notice and you're not at your job the next day. It happens. I mean, if that would really happen with the rapture, then the people will figure it out. Like, they'll have bigger problems than, oh, my employee is gone, right? It's amazing. It's just, I don't know. And then, like, the way they prepare makes no sense. And I could see, like, again, you don't know when it is. So you can't do that stuff, and you're going to get your whole life is going to get in a mess over that, okay? If you just leave it alone and it happens when it happens, fine, that's it. If people are so concerned about charity, if you knew, let's say you're dying and you want to leave stuff to charity so somebody else doesn't get it, okay, good. Leave it in a will, so that would happen then. It can be done. You can still give now if you have something that you can live without if you're here. Right? I do that all the time. I give stuff away that I think, well, I don't need this anymore. I give it to somebody who needs it. That's it. But I have what I need, okay, while I'm still here. So their way of preparing is totally foolishness. It's foolishness, okay? That's not what you do to prepare. And what do we do? Well, it's the same thing we do all the time, because you don't know. Any one of us can die tonight, tomorrow. We don't know when that last day is. It might be it could be, later in the rapture. It could be a death before that. It could be martyrdom later. It could be a death any which way, right? We don't know when our last time on earth is. And what should we be doing to get ready, right? What should we be doing all the time? All the same things the Bible says we need to do. And those things are not on the list, right? We need to grow in our faith, right? Know the Bible, follow Jesus, die to ourselves, all those same things. Love your enemies, the same things that it says that we're supposed to always do. I mean, what's the best way to prepare? Like if a person thought let's say they're going to die in a month. They just got the news they have some illness and they're going to die in a month, right? And they're even a Christian, and, they're excited about going to heaven and being with God. But they might still think, I should prepare a few more things. I maybe should make sure people know I've forgiven them, or, that kind of thing. Really clean the slate, make sure there's nothing left undone in a spiritual way. A spiritual sense, make sure you've repented of things, make sure your relationship with God is solid. You're in a close relationship with God. You're doing the things you're supposed to do. You're serving God, all that. Then you'll feel fine. Okay, it's all spiritual preparation. None of this is material, none of it. So they take the totally wrong approach on all of that. Anyway, so I just thought that is just so, oh, wow. I had to do a video, talking about that, and maybe somebody will avoid the danger next time, next time somebody sets another date. Another thing that happens that's a problem is they get so discouraged that they fall away from the faith because of that, and I talked about that. So that's another danger, depending on how their walk is. If they are lukewarm, they'll probably fall away, so that's it. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video, but just, remember, nobody knows the day or hour. We don't know. We know we're in the season of the end, right? We know that, but you can't say it's, and I think it'll be at the Feast of Trumpets one of these years later, but we can't pinpoint it like this exact time. Just don't do anything. Just get ready spiritually every day. That's all we can do. That's the best and wisest thing to do, is that, okay? All right. So God bless you and have a great rest of your day, and until next time.